Welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Geri Hoerner, and joining me today is Diane Cobb. She is a fellow Master Gardener and also a member of the Bella Vista Garden Club. And today we're going to be talking about butterfly gardening, and along with our upcoming events for the month, and then talk a little bit about what you need to do in your garden in October. So there's not too many new things going on in gardening this month. We're kind of winding down for the year, but we are holding, the Bella Vista Garden Club is holding their fall bulb and plant sale on Saturday, October 2nd. So if you're watching this program on Saturday, October 2nd, you still have a chance to get to the plant sale. It's from 9 to 1 at Village Wastewater Plant, and that's right off Highway 71 between the Missouri line and the 340. So you'll see a big sign out there. And we're having plants that were from our sale in spring that are left. We still have perennials and trees. We have a lot of bulbs. We have a lot of iris, beautiful iris.
Yes.
And if you're watching after October 2nd, then you haven't lost the opportunity to buy plants. Our plants are kept there at the wastewater plant and sand beds, and you can buy those plants anytime, Monday through Friday. I think the times are 9 to 3, between 9 and 3. So the plants are still available for you to purchase at the wastewater plant. Also, the Daylily Club, the Ozark Hills Daylily Club, will be selling plants there, and wastewater. Nature's Calling will have plants also. In addition to the plant sale, the Garden Club is having their card party. It's a benefit card party on November 12th on a Friday, and you'll see flyers around the area. We're going to start posting flyers about the card party, and all the benefits, all the proceeds go to scholarships for the junior college. So it's our fourth card party, and everyone loves them. So we usually sell out. So if you want tickets, everything's on that flyer when you see it. And there'll be things posted in the Vista and the other papers also with information. And this is also the time of year to sign up for the Benton County Master Gardener program. If you'd like to become a Master Gardener, this is the time to sign up, the time of year. They have classes in January, and if you'd like to become a Master Gardener, you can just call the Extension office at 271-1060 and put your name on the list. They'll send you an application, you'll fill it out, send it back, and see if you're accepted in the program. They usually accept, I think, 30 applicants, 25 to 30 applicants every year. And the classes are taught at the old St. Mary's Hospital, the Center for, what is it called now? It's the Center for, I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, it's the old St. Mary's Hospital. I had a little Bella Vista moment there. And there is a slight charge for the class, and what you receive a huge manual, and this is well worth the charge that you pay. So you're just basically paying for your manual and the class costs. So if you'd like to become a Master Gardener, just call that number, 271-1060, for more information. And Diane's been a Master Gardener for a number of years. And
Since
I think
2005, my goodness, 5 years.
2005.
That's a long
And
time.
I started in 2000. No, I started in 1999.
Oh,
So it's a great program to join.
yes,
And you have 40 hours of classroom, and you have then 40 hours of volunteer work you need to do every year. And
that's
it's not
when
hard
you really learn.
Right, you
through the
learn
volunteering.
so much.
Yes.
The other thing about Master Gardeners, they think you have to be an expert at everything to be a Master Gardener, and actually they really train you to find the information. It's a
That's right.
resource finding group. So
Yes,
if you have a problem or you have a question, they train you where to go to find the answer for that. So you can't be an expert in everything.
That's right. That's right.
We do have an expert here today, though, on butterfly gardens.
A semi-expert.
And
The real expert wasn't able to be here, Lou Jasper. She's a Benton County Master Gardener, and she does butterfly gardening.
she knows her
does.
butterflies.
She knows her
really
butterflies.
does. She's our source for butterfly
is.
information. And we do have a little program here. today that Lou presented to the Master Gardener
Yes,
group
last month.
last month.
And she actually brought butterflies in a cage for us to see and handle. It was just wonderful.
So this
Just
is our
marvelous.
presentation today on butterfly gardening.
Yes, yes, and I'm so glad to be able to bring this to you. As I said, Lou Jasper is the resident expert, but we'll go through this. It was given to the Master Gardener program, but we modified it to a little bit to present to you today. So sit back, relax, and learn about butterfly gardening. Butterflies add a lot of life and energy to a garden and also a purpose to the gardening. You can go out and grow beautiful flowers and then welcome these wonderful creatures. With just a little bit of effort, you reap a lot of benefits. This little boy, he's actually holding a butterfly. These are some of our more common butterflies. I go out in my garden and I see some of these. I can't recognize their names. Now, Lou would be able to do that. But you should go out and just wander around your garden. Take a little paper, write down what you see and what flowers they like to visit. Look around. You have to look really, really close. But these are some of the chrysalis you might find on some of your plants. Look for the complete butterfly life cycle in your own yard. The females do not venture far from the food plants in search of specific host plants for their caterpillars. They lay their eggs on or near the specific plants that meet the nutritional requirements of the caterpillars that hatch from her eggs. Therefore, the ideal butterfly garden has a mixture of nectar and host plants. You know, butterflies expend a lot of energy flying around. You watch butterflies, they flit here and there and everywhere just to go from one flower to another. So they need high energy nectar from the flowers. And here's a hint. A flower with a strong scent tends to have better nectar. Go native. These are easy to grow. They come in all sizes and colors and are balanced with the local pollinators, like our butterflies. Strive to have something blooming from the very first warm days of early spring through the cool days of August. And you know, the asters are starting to bloom now. You'll see them along the roadways. You should clump any of your nectar flowers with what's called host plants, and those are for the caterpillars to feed on. You should clump them together and then arrange them in stair steps with your tallest ones at the back and the shortest ones in front so they can all take the best advantage from the sun. Butterflies love many of our easy-to-grow annuals. They especially like flower heads that contain small multiple florets that make nice landing platforms where they can sit and sip. I have lantana on my garden, and I've gone out and found like a dozen butterflies just clustered all over that lantana.
Now, I find them on my phlox an awful lot,
Do you?
too.
Yeah.
They love my phlox. It's the tall phlox.
Right, right. Marigolds are great, zinnias, the 4 o'clocks. 4 o'clocks, you know that strong aroma they send out early in the morning and late evening, and the butterflies just love that. So there's lots of easy to grow annuals that butterflies love. You can grow these from seeds. You don't have to buy those plants.
And we will have 4 o'clock seeds at our plant sale.
Excellent. Excellent. Make a note. Get your 4 o'clocks. And they will reseed themselves, and you will have 4 o'clocks coming up.
Just about everywhere.
Just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Just about everywhere. Okay. You know, shrubs attract butterflies too. And again, it's that strong scent that attracts them, especially that butterfly bush. Is there anything better named than that?
No, it's the perfect name for that bush.
It is
It's
just
usually
ideal.
just covered with butterflies.
They are. It's almost like it grows butterflies.
Right.
Just marvelous. Okay, Here's a quick review of the butterfly life cycle. The butterfly lays her eggs on or near a host plant, and then the larva hatches, and that's the caterpillar. Hatches, begins to eat and eat and eat. It forms the pupa or the chrysalis. Now, during this stage, it can hang around all winter if necessary. And then when the spring comes and it gets warm and nature says go, that butterfly emerges. It slowly stretches its wings to let them dry. It flies off looking for flowers, drinks in the nectar, and the cycle begins anew. Remember, the caterpillar is the main feeding and growing stage of the butterfly's life cycle. It must find a host plant immediately after emerging, or it will starve and die. It will sometimes consume an entire plant, whether it's in a field, in a yard, or in your garden. They are very, very hungry. Our butterflies are at risk. We have moved into their world. Urbanization, we've taken over fields and pastures, and it's really put a lot of the butterflies at risk, especially the monarch. The monarch experienced a bad event in Mexico this last winter. There were mudslides and floods, and it wiped out almost half the monarch population. So a creature that was already at risk is even more endangered now. They rely on milkweeds. They only use milkweeds for reproduction. So our fetish for mowed roadways, along all of our highways, we mow down the milkweed. And then there's new herbicides for the farmers, and that has really cut down on the amount of available milkweed for the monarch. So anything you can do will help this little creature and the other butterflies also. But there's an annual
milkweed
that's really, really
wonderful
helpful
to buy.
Yes.
And that's available usually at Westwood and I think Bradford. And From the Ground Up Nursery, Lisa has it there. It's the Ground Up is off of on Highway 40,
Highway
right
40.
near Walgreens. But look for your annual milkweed because your native milkweed is hard to grow.
It is.
It is
It's
hard
very
to grow
difficult.
here. So your annual milkweed is a good source for these monarchs because that's all they eat. They're very finicky eaters.
They are finicky eaters. They are. Now the black swallowtail loves parsley. It's a vegetarian, I think. Parsley, the rue, carrots, dill, and fennel.
Well,
Now,
they just destroy my pots of parsley. I have one pot for them, and I try to keep one pot protected for
There
me.
you go.
So I just leave a pot of parsley out for those caterpillars, and they
right.
devour the whole thing.
Exactly, exactly. And they thank you for that.
Yes, they do.
As you can see, so many of the caterpillars rely totally on a specific plant. So if that plant isn't growing, we will lose those butterflies. So please consider growing some of these plants and helping the butterflies. Okay, so let's just go and grow. But hold on just a minute. Let's think about your space, think about your preference, and draw out your plan. It doesn't have to be a fancy plan. It just needs to be on paper so you'll know where to plant what. It'll help you really see your yard space a little bit better. And it will save you time and money in the long run. Think you don't have enough space for butterflies? You don't need a lot, a little window box, a few pots of pretty flowers for the nectar, and you've got a butterfly garden, and they will come. Anything that you can do, no matter how small, can have a positive impact in the butterfly's world. So, where will it grow best? Well, butterflies use the sun to navigate and are active on the sunny days. They're inactive on the cloudy days. When it's cool outside, the butterflies can be seen basking in the sun with their wings open to absorb the heat quickly from the sun's rays. So you need a spot in full sunlight that's out of the wind. And of course, that's where all of these sun-loving flowers love to grow. Okay, with so many plants, you saw them. They're tall, short, purple, orange, yellow, all colors with so many to choose from. It'll be easy for you to find ones you like, and the more the better. With variety, you reduce the chance of disease and unwanted pests. The natural way. Remember, pesticides are not selective. Kill one buggy and you've killed them all. Any that visit your garden, and that includes butterflies, honeybees, ladybugs, and any of our other beneficial insects.
And most of the insects are beneficial.
They
About 90% are beneficial.
Yes.
And there's only like 5% or so that are detrimental to your garden.
That's
so you
right.
have to remember not to kill the beneficial insects.
And when we kill our pollinators, that's going to affect the plants that they pollinate. It
Right.
affects the whole habitat. And there's birds and other animals that depend on our insects and the plants. And so it's very important that we nurture and balance
Right.
and cut down our use of pesticides.
And one little hole in a couple holes in our leaves aren't going to kill us.
It's not going to hurt.
It's not
a
the end
thing.
of the world.
And a caterpillar, you know, it's good to have worms in your garden.
Absolutely.
It's good.
Absolutely.
So be patient and go look and see what nature can do without those old pesticides.
Yeah.
And you need to accommodate nature. A few weeds can be a good thing. And you know, sometimes it's hard to know a weed from a wildflower.
Well, they say a weed is just some plant that's not in the appropriate location.
That's
so all
right.
plants are
That's right.
wildflowers
They're all
that grow in the
wildflowers.
wild, but if it's in the wrong location, maybe it's a weed.
That's right. That's right. So, and I battle some weeds in the early spring, and then I get tired, and then I go out and I go, wow, look at that. A gorgeous flower has bloomed from what I might have pulled.
Right.
So, your garden doesn't have to be totally neat. You should have a weed patch or two, because the butterflies use those weeds. The bottom right picture there is a thistle, and the butterflies love the thistle, and that's a very pretty flower. You might not want to cultivate it, but you could allow it to grow in a natural area near
Right.
your home.
As long as it doesn't take over the,
Don't let it
the
take
area.
over. Yes, but it's a good plant. And the butterflies use these things for food. They use it for shelter at night and during bad weather. So allow some patches to grow and let your neighbors know that you're not being negligent, that you are helping the butterflies. And maybe you can recruit them to help too.
That's right.
Be okay. You should cut your weed patch every year or so, though, just to keep it under control. Okay, now let's have some fun. And you know what? It is okay to hold butterflies. You really won't hurt them. All you have to do is catch them. That's the hard part.
Yeah, without hurting them. Yeah.
Don't hurt them, yes. And they are attracted to the salt on your hand. So if you're still, they might actually come and land on your hand trying to get that mineral. And if you are still and quiet, one might actually land on your shoulder.
And it's really good luck when they land on your golf ball.
Oh, for you or for the butterfly?
Well, for us.
So remember, all you need is some nectar plants for the adult butterfly. You need some host plants, which is food for the caterpillar, a weed patch or two. Don't use pesticides. You can use that money to buy you some more seeds
Right.
or wildflowers.
Right.
That's all you need to garden for butterflies. So please, please consider this type of gardening. The butterflies will thank you, and you'll have a lot of fun too. If you're interested in wildflowers, we have some sources available. think they're listed on our website.
They are on our website. We have a section called Cobb's Corner,
Yeah.
and named after you, because you
Yes.
have contributed
Quite a
so
few
much
articles there.
to our website. And there's Cobb's Corner, and under that you'll find some Arkansas wildflower sources. If you can't get these numbers here quickly, but just go to our website, and then they're listed there. And
Yeah. And these people are really eager to share their knowledge and expertise. You don't need to know everything when you go visit them. Just go talk to them and see what plants they have and what
now
they would recommend.
the other thing we didn't talk about was the water source. They do get their water from like a sandy mud pile.
Yes, they
And
do.
it's really great to have like the saucer of a clay pot.
Right, right.
Just there with some damp soil, maybe a little sand. And you can also take like your rotted fruit, like your just
Watermelon.
watermelon they
love
love.
watermelon.
So if you have just little scraps from your fruit, just kind of put that in there. They love that fermented fruits, and they get their water from that sources. You'll see, if you see a mud puddle in the summertime, you just see butterflies all over that little mud puddle. So you can provide their own little mud puddle
That's right.
feeding station for
And
'em.
it looks like they're just drinking the water, but what the male does is he has to absorb the minerals from that mud or sand, and he passes it on to the female, and it's crucial in the reproductive cycle of the butterfly.
Very important.
Very
There's so many
important
little
stuff.
things that are important to butterflies that we don't think about. So.
And they drink the dew off of the grass and such as that too. So,
But with this
so
drought, it's just been terrible
been
for
very,
the
very
butterflies.
hard
So
for
they've struggled with so many
Yes.
different problems, and we just got to do whatever we can do to help the situation.
That's right. That's right. And it, like I said, you don't have to do the whole thing. If you just have a few nectar flowers, plant a little dill. It's a beautiful little
Oh,
plant.
yeah, it's wonderful.
And then you've got a host for a caterpillar. So I think everybody pitch in, especially if you do nothing else. Please, please eliminate pesticides from your arsenal.
And we do have a new member, a fairly new member in our garden club, and he's a fairly new master gardener, is Tony Lacassi.
Yes.
And he has done a program here on gardening the natural way. He's been doing it for 40 years. He's training us, and
Yes.
we're learning so much about gardening the
Absolutely.
natural way, and we're all so enthused about it because there is a better way to do this than with the chemicals. And
That's right.
the
That's
chemicals can be disastrous. Now there's also a book called Arkansas Butterflies and Moths, and this was written by Lori Spencer, and Carl Hunter was the butterfly expert that died a few years ago. He passed away, and he used to give seminars on butterflies, that he really knew butterflies. So this is the book, and you can find it online, I'm sure. And Laurie Spencer is from Arkansas. She's done wonderful research into butterflies in Arkansas, and there's pictures and
It's
all kinds of.
just
It's a
perfect
wonderful, wonderful
reference.
book. But he
Perfect
told her she
reference.
had to publish this book because she was going to show, butterflies and train and teach us. And then-
Another useful item would be a wildflower book. Now this is a real inexpensive one. It's small, it's handy. This is nice because I can carry this in my purse, my pocket actually, when I'm out and about. And if I see a wildflower I don't recognize, I can look it up. But there are lots and lots of wildflower books out there. And if
And
you're
Carl
interested,
Hunter did the Arkansas
Did he do
Wildflower
the Arkansas
book. Like I said,
Wildflower.
he was our Arkansas expert, and he has a wonderful butterfly book, Butterflies in Arkansas.
Yeah. So another resource is Mount Magazine State Park has produced this book, Butterfly Gardening, and it's everything that we've gone over here, just in a very handy little brochure. Very simple, lists the prime flowers and host plants and all of that. So if you're interested in that, you can go to their website, Mount Magazine State Park. Very easy.
And they also, on our website, I think we have the hookup to the Mount Magazine link. I think we
So-
do. We'll make sure
Just
we
go
get
to
that
the
on there.
website and you'll find
But they also
Lots
have
of resources.
butterfly gardening seminars at
Yes,
Mount
they do.
Magazine several
Yes, they
times a
do.
year, I think. So
Yes.
just kind of watch the paper. It's usually in the paper, in the Gazette, and they'll talk about
Right.
the Mount Magazine seminars
yeah.
that we have. They have several twice a year. They have a wonderful butterfly garden up there at Rockefeller Center.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes. And if you go to Branson, go visit the butterfly place.
Oh, yes.
It is just wonderful. You walk around, they land all over you. It's
Yeah.
just like being in
Butterfly heaven.
Butterfly heaven,
Yes,
exactly.
it's wonderful. Well, I guess
Yes,
we need to
indeed.
talk then a little bit about things we need to do in our garden for October. And the annuals and herbs are just about gone for the year.
Yes.
One year we did a thing in Master Gardeners where we went out and on November 1st and we just took a list of all the things that were still blooming.
Oh,
It was amazing how many
Well, it is.
things were still blooming on November 1st.
That's
So
right.
that might be an
Yes.
interesting
Yeah.
little thing to do.
That's right.
The tropicals, you should be getting your tropicals in. It's going to be cold. It's getting down in the 40s in the early October. So they should be in when your nighttime temperatures hit about
right.
45. You need to get those in. Be sure to spray them with your insecticidal soap. That'll just kill the bugs that are on that
right.
plant before you bring them in. Perennials, mums are blooming now.
Yes.
And if you know of any other areas that you need mums, this is the time to buy them. I buy them, put them
Yes.
on my front porch. Then after they fade, then I go and plant them
Yes.
in a little bare spot in the garden, wherever they fit.
I now have mums pocketed here and
In there,
there and all over,
everywhere.
but it's so fun because in the fall I'll forget they're there.
And then
here I go find these beautiful blooms.
Right,
It's just
right.
wonderful.
And the bulbs and iris, this is the time for bulbs and iris.
So come to the wastewater
Yeah,
and
plant.
pick them up there,
Right.
but also buy them early in in the store so you get a really good selection. Don't plant them until it gets a little bit cooler.
Right.
But go ahead and buy them now.
Because you want to plant your daffodils and crocus can be planted in October. You want to kind of hold off on your tulips.
Tulips.
And tulips, you almost have to treat them as an annual because
you
they don't
do.
do well here.
No,
But we talked about that last
That's
month
right.
with the bulbs, and
Very good.
and you need to divide your iris. And then roses, to stop deadheading, and let the roses farm the rose hips.
hips.
And then if you cut them back now and encourage new growth, that new growth will be frozen
Yes,
back.
it will.
So, but if you have really tall, like hybrid teas that are like really tall, that might rock in the wind, over the winter, just cut them back
Just
to
a
about
bit.
3 or 4 feet so they don't rock so much. And lawns, this is the time to overseed. If you have fescue, you're going to be overseeding in October, and your fall pre-emergent herbicide,
Yes.
if you have to use
If you
those
have to use it.
herbicides, try to use them sparingly. Be sure to keep the leaves off your lawn because that will smother the grass. If they're just covered in a blanket of leaves, your grass will die.
Right.
So get the leaves off, at least off of the lawn. I put them on, I just take them off the lawn and put them in the flower beds
That's what
over
I
the
do.
winter.
Yeah.
And then
Makes a
trees and
nice-
shrubs, it's a good time in October to plant trees and shrubs. You have to monitor your water over the winter
Right.
because
Yes.
sometimes it could be dry.
Yes.
And you
yes.
still need water in the winter. And the vegetables, I don't have a whole lot of vegetables,
I don't either.
but this is the time to, enjoy that last harvest. And it's the time to plant garlic.
Yes,
and we love
isn't it
garlic.
yes,
In October, you
yes.
plant your
You plant
garlic,
your garlic.
and then you can cultivate it next June, July, when the leaves fall, go brown.
That's right.
Then
Go
you
ahead.
harvest your garlic.
That's right.
So this is the time of the year also. We like to sit and just enjoy the garden.
Enjoy. Yes,
And-
and actually, it's nice to actually write down your successes.
Oh, absolutely.
So you know
Make
what
a journal
really worked. Keep your journal.
and see what-
Write down what didn't work.
Right.
But keep note of your successes and make notes of what you might want to do.
Right,
do
and
for the
I think
next
Kathy
year.
Wason just posted on the Bella Vista Garden Club website. That's bellavistagardenclub.com. It's real easy to remember. She just posted some really hardy plants that made it through
Okay.
this drought
Oh,
this
this
year.
drought,
And
yes.
some plants did better than others. So check that on the website. She just posted it, and I think they're kind of working out some little bugs with it, but
Yeah.
it should be up and ready to view pretty soon.
Another thing you can do is get your soil tested.
Yes.
And this is free through the extension office. They have little boxes. The soil needs to be totally dry.
Right.
No wet soil at all. So if your soil is wet at all, spread it out, let it dry, put it in a bag, take it down to the extension
Yeah, I just
office.
spread it on newspaper in
Yep.
the garage. In a couple days, it's dry.
And within 1 to 2 weeks, you'll get the report, and it'll tell you exactly what might need to be added.
Right. And you might want to add lime in the winter,
Exactly.
you know, over the winter.
Because this is a good time to add. It's a good time to spread compost over your lawn,
Absolutely.
actually. Because in the spring, that'll just sift down through there all winter, and in the
Right.
spring, you'll be blessed with a
just
beautiful lawn and no chemical fertilizers.
Right, it's the
great.
natural fertilizer.
certainly
so
is.
That's what we really need. And if you have any more questions about gardening, remember the hotline. We've had the scroll on there. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. And if you just call the extension office at 271-1060, you can speak to a master gardener. And also our website, Garden Club website. And we just enjoyed all this information on butterflies today. It was
butterflies.
wonderful, Diane. I thank you for
Marvelous. Well,
sharing.
I'm so glad I was
Yeah,
able to be here. I'm sorry Lou couldn't make it.
yeah.
But
She'll be back again
so
talking about
she
native
will be
plants at one
indeed.
time. We'll have her back talking
Absolutely.
about that. And
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed the show today. And until next month, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.